Mistakes in 1031 exchanges. Who really is controlling your money when you're doing a 1031 exchange? So you're selling a property in a 1031 exchange and you hold your money with a qualified intermediary. Now, what if that qualified intermediary goes bankrupt? What happens to your money? And here's the brutal truth. If you don't legally own the account, then you can lose your money. In this video, I want to show you where you need to put your money when doing a 1031 exchange. What type of qualified intermediary company should you work with, and how do you protect your funds? Even if the qualified intermediary goes out of business, you still control your own 1031 proceeds. Here's the dangerous assumptions that most investors make. When doing a 1031 exchange, they ask their title company or their realtor, where should I do the 1031 exchange through? Well, it's a qualified intermediary. When looking for a QI or a qualified intermediary, they don't ask some critical questions. The most important question to ask is who controls my money or who owns the account? And the qualified intermediary gives you a surface answer and says your funds are held in a segregated account in your name. And that sounds great, so you feel comfortable. But here's the catch. You don't technically own the account. Most QIs or qualified intermediaries control the funds in their own accounts and just segregate the account with your name on it. They still own the funds. You do not want to do business with one of these QIs. Now, let me tell you why. There's a case study. It was the Land America company collapse. In 2008, Land America was a qualified intermediary company that would hold investors' funds, and the company went entirely bankrupt. They were investing clients' funds into risky securities that ended up going bankrupt during the 2008 crash, and the entire company became insolvent. Land America had to file bankruptcy, and $450 million of investors' funds that were waiting to go into 1031 exchanges got wiped out overnight. You do not want this to happen to you. And worse than that, thousands of investors couldn't actually use their funds, and they got taxed on those proceeds that they made from the sales of those properties. So not only did they lose the money, they got taxed on the gains from the sale of their property, and they never even received the funds. All those investors thought their funds were safe because they had a separate account with their name on it, and they thought they owned the account, but Land America owned the accounts on their balance sheet. So how do we avoid this problem? Well, pay attention to this. This is very important. Here are the two account structures that protect the funds and put them in your custody or your name. These are the only two ways to protect your exchange funds. The first type of account is a qualified escrow account. The second type of account is a qualified trust account. You want to be sure that the QI company holds your funds in these types of structures. In both of these cases, these accounts are in your name, or the entity that you're 1031 exchanging from, the name of that entity is the name of the bank account or the name of the account that is being held by the QI company. Another condition of the account is a third party or trustee holds the funds in their possession. You don't touch the cash, it's held in their possession. The next condition is it's an escrow account or trust account, and the third party is the person distributing those funds. Next is a condition of the account is all withdrawals require your approval, written approval to distribute the funds. Next, the trust agreement or escrow agreement limits the access of your possession of the funds. The intermediary holds the funds, you don't hold the funds. This is an IRS rule to qualify for a 1031 exchange. Now, if you do not do your 1031 exchange, you can withdraw the funds. Just know that you will be required to pay the capital gains taxes. A key point here is a segregated account does not mean that the account is held in your name. This needs to be a trust account or an escrow account in your name. If for some reason the qualified intermediary goes bankrupt or has financial issues, the bankruptcy court does not care that the account is in your name. It needs to be segregated into a trust or escrow account. So here's some questions we're going to put on the screen that you want to write down or ask your QI company before you put your money with them. Are the funds held in a qualified escrow or trust account? Am I the legal owner of the account? Is a third-party escrow holder or trustee involved? Does the agreement restrict my ability to receive or access funds before the exchange is complete? If they can't clearly answer these questions, walk away and find a QI that can do these things. So let's simplify it. If the QI controls your account, you do not own the money anymore. You gave up possession. If the account is not in an escrow or trust account and in your name, you do not own the money. Lastly, do not accept a segregated account with your name on it. That does not qualify the funds to be in your possession, or if there is an issue with the company, you do not own those funds. So now that you know how to find the right QI, in the comments below, I will put a few of the references of QIs that I trust, that I've already vetted, asked these questions, and make sure that you keep control of your funds if anything were to happen with that QI. So do the right thing, take a little time on your due diligence, and in the next video, I'm going to talk about the types of property that qualify for a 1031 exchange. Thanks.